have a fortune or a business family. So build any of these. Why we say build is because it's not going to be a day job. It's not going to be one day. So it's not going to be okay. It's on. Okay, good and fine. So it will not just be one day. So this relationship will give you transformational kind of relationship. And with this transformational kind of relationship, you need to use a skill of leadership to actually create it. This will actually give you a fortune. Instead of fortune, this will give you residual income. So you are looking forward to have a residual income. The work you did, the work you do, and you earn the money over. But so the idea, I need marker, big marker. Okay, good. Thank you so much. So you do, and you make the money over and over again. You have to take time to build people. So the most important factor here is you. You are the most important factor. Once you grow, everything will grow. Wealth does not exceed personal development. So until you grow yourself, you will like cry from now to tomorrow. And then so today we're looking at one of the most important topic I love so much, which is called easy heart principle. So easy heart principle. Okay, that's what we're gonna look at today. If you're excited about today's class, shall I? We'll look at easy heart principle. So I want to look at the principle of easy heart. Okay. Okay, write this one down. We live in an age, we live in a generation, easy heart principle. We live in an age where people act like things have one side. They live in an age where people act like things have one side. They act like there's no consequences. People, you live in an age where people think that people act like things can be one-sided. They act like actions don't have consequences. So we live in an age where people think that it's only one-sided of life. And I can tell you today, everything has two sides. There's no one side of coin. For every up, there is what? A down. For every left, there is what? A right. For every, of course, anything you can think about. There's no one side of coin. There's no one side of bread. There's no one side of chair. There's no one side of phone. You always have the front and the back. There's no one side of the wall. You have the in and the out. There's nothing is one-sided. Everything, sun, moon, night, day, everything is rain, sun, there's nothing one side. So don't ever think that something is one side. That means for every failure, there's success. There's no success. For every positive, there's what? A negative. Every inner is always have an outer. So as a nature teaches us that everything has an opposite. Nature teaches us that everything has an opposite. Everything has two sides of every situation. Everything has two sides. Everything in life has two sides. Therefore, for every right, there is a wrong. For every up, there is a down. For every white, there is a black. So there are two sides to everything. Okay, in order for something to be good, there must be something bad. That is the truth. For something good, there is something bad. I said every cut there is a cold, every weight there is a dry, every truth there is a lie, every up there is a down. So write this one down, very, very important. The purpose of lie is to make people who hears it believe that it is true. The purpose of lie, why person they lie, the only purpose of lie is to make people who hears it believe that it is true. The purpose of lie is to make people who hears it believe that it is true. So I encourage us today. I said the purpose of lie is to make people who hears it believe that it is true. Be familiar with the truth to know the lie. Be familiar with the truth to know the lie. Okay. Before I go to that one, let me say this to us. Write this down. Easy. Almost everything that is easy on the front end equals easy on the back, equals hard on the back end. That means easy, anything that is easy on the front end. Let me check this. Okay, anything that is easy on the front end equals hard at the back end. Anything that is hard on the front end always equals easy at the back end. So if you want to have an easy life, you need to work hard. You want to have an easy life tomorrow, you have to work hard today. If you are playing today, having an easy life today, tomorrow will be hard. So if you sacrifice today on the platter of playing and joking, tomorrow life will be hard. If you work hard today, tomorrow life will be easy. So anything that is hard here will be easy there. That is easy here will be hard there. So I'm going to talk about the easy hard principle. So easy hard principle said that everything that is easy must be hard the other side. Anything that is hard here, easy that side. You spend time, look forward to build your team today, tomorrow you will enjoy. You don't build your team today, tomorrow you will still struggle financially. So I put it here, I say hard leads to easy, easy leads to hard. Hard leads to easy, easy leads to hard. That's what happened. Hard things leads to easy, and hard leads to easy, and easy leads to hard. That's how life is. People that do farming, the time that clearing the bush, putting fire, tilling the ground, is it hard? Is that even the Gary process? Gary process is that you first of all clear the bush, put the fire, clear the building for 2-3 days to dry up, put the fire the way we plant over here, and then you go there and you now dig the ground, plant the cassava stick, and not just that alone, you have to wait and do the first weeding in my place, second weeding in my place, now go and harvest it, come back home, peel it, wash it, go and grind it, squeeze it, come back home, come and sieve it, fry it before it becomes gari. So it's always hard before you enjoy. The time we went to school, it's not easy for us. We struggle, and then just like building a business, just like building anything in life, it's not always easy at the start. So people that don't want to have that easy, I don't want to have that hard life. The people are always struggling in life tomorrow. They're looking for someone that will pay them peanuts. Let someone be taking care of me. Let someone be taking care of me. When the time comes when you are growing old and you find out that what you're working for was a peanut. So I said that Jesus Christ told us about two parts. He said one part is a narrow path, the other part is a wide road that leads to what? Destruction. Write this one now. I said it is easy to say no when the external temptation does not match the internal temptation. I think we talked about that. It's easy to say no when the external temptation does not match the internal temptation. There are two sides of things. So when the external temptation, it's easy to say no when the external temptation does not match the internal temptation. It is hard to say no when the external temptation matches the internal temptation. Just like I always said, there are some things, if you tempt me with smoking, it's not going to work. If you tempt me with drinking, it's not going to work. But if you tempt me with food, especially the one that has chicken, I enjoy it a lot, and fish. So you understand. So the external temptation must matches the internal temptation. So you can say it's easy to say no when the external temptation does not match the internal temptation. It is hard to say no when the external temptation matches the internal temptation. So all the things you are saying, I don't know, I feel a victim, is because the external temptation matches what? The internal temptation. That's easy for you to say yes. So it's hard for you to say no. So there's two sides of things. I'm going somewhere today. So you can actually make up your mind after the end of this class. So always do the things that will lead you to a favorable end. Whether it's hard or easy, you have to follow the path that will lead you to a favorable end. You have to do a path that gives you the right expectation of the outcome you desire. Okay? Whether it's hard or it's easy, you must be ready to pay the price. But for that, it's going to lead you to the outcome you desire that will work in your own favor. Don't tell me, it's hard to share questionnaire, it's hard to make calls, it's hard to do business. See, it's hard, yes, I know, but it's going to give you to the unexpected end. So I can do the answer that is hard now will be easy tomorrow. Okay? So I write this one now. I said it is. I don't want to just say it's easy to say. It's hard. It's easy to say no when the external temptation does not match the internal temptation. And I said it is hard to say no when the external temptation matches the internal temptation. So I'm going somewhere this morning. So okay, I said write this one. The only weapon a lie has against the truth is to silence the truth. The only weapon lies have against the truth is to always silence the truth. They will make a lot of noise. They want to silence the truth. They don't want the truth. This thing we are preaching now, that everybody's supposed to have gravity trophy before photo trophy. So to put yourself down before you grow up. They will be like, you know, the easy way to make money. Sharp purpose scheme, this one crypto, this one forex. You don't need to learn anything, just for 50 million to go and make 100 million. Do Nigeria bit. They want to make the noise to silence the truth. And you know what I'm trying to say? So what about that? The only weapon a liar has against the truth is to silence the truth. But the truth is like water or light. Any opening, they'll find their way in. You know, no matter how you want to do it, water and light, any opening at all, they'll find their way in. So this I'm going to tell you today. We're going to write something today. They're going to be crazy because no matter how they want to lie to you, they can have an easy life today and have an easy life tomorrow. It's totally big lie. Show me somebody that just wake up in the morning and sleep from morning till night. He doesn't do anything and make money. Show me somebody that do any business anyhow and become successful. I've been using an example. Even a Akara woman wake up in the morning by 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to go and start her Akara business. She can't go to that place by 12 noon whenever she likes. You know, she has to go there even when she's happy or not. That's the only way she succeeds. A suya man that must do suya must not go there by 12 midnight. People have gone to bed. He asks whether he like it or not. He must go there by 3, 4 o'clock to start preparing suya for the evening. A guy that works in a champion bureaus will not go to work whenever he likes. Whether he likes it or not, whether it's difficult for him or not, he must go there on time before 8 so that he gets his salary. Bankers, people working in the government house, everybody that must succeed in life, they do the thing that is hard for them, whether they like it or not, because they have an expected end. They want to collect salary. They are working in school, like my children's school. I just dropped them off this morning. But every time I go there, all the teachers are always complete. That means I must be there in that school before 7:30. Can you just imagine that? For how much are they paying them? None of them is earning above 50,000. I cannot be above 50,000. And the children's school fee, the one I pay, just over 300K for 2 people. Over 300,000. So I just imagine that 2 students, if one student can pay you for the whole term, and you're there to teach about 17 to 24 students, and you're going to teach, oh my God, man. Jesus, see, I'd rather become rich and wealthy and own hospital and employ doctors to work for me than for me to go and work as a doctor. I'd rather become rich and wealthy to own schools, employ all the professors to work in my university. I pay them salary. I'd rather become an entrepreneur to own an asset. So an asset that gives me residual income. So residual income. Than to do things and be exchanging my time for money. I'd rather sell to collect commission. I'd rather be in charge than to go. I'd rather learn how to be in charge. I'd rather spend 1 month, 2 months, learn how to be in charge. That tomorrow I'll become the king than to always be a slave. If I'm going to serve, I must learn. I'm going to serve, that means there must be provision for me to become a king tomorrow. If there's no provision for me to become a mentor tomorrow, there's no need. Because the fact is I cannot be mortgaging my life, trading my time for salary. That's why the government don't want anybody to teach personal development. They want you to go and learn out the have 3,000 education, scholastic education, what again? Professional education, and what again? Financial education. They want to give you the professional so they can, at the end of the day, employ you and you work for them. That's what they do. And you don't understand these things. They engage you. So I love the fact that Jesus Christ said, I am the way and the only way. And one of the ways is not one of the ways. It's not part of the way. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. So I think they will say, if you need salvation, this one will be saying, now go come. The only way to get salvation is Christ. There's no other way. So Israel, like why is hard or easy? Say, take out his yoke. He says his yoke is even easy, right? So what I'm trying to say, whenever you are afraid of easy in hard things, and you're always looking for the easy way, your life will be hard. So easier principle says that anything you want to do that has to lead to your expected end, whether it's easy or hard, take action. Turn action. Sit down. Let's say take inventory. Turn on inventory. Take inventory of what you want to achieve in life. You need to pay the price. So if you're not ready to pay the price, you cannot enjoy the beauty, the joy of the harvest. So the easier principle means that no matter what's going to happen, as far as you make up your mind to succeed, be ready to pay. Just like footballers, they want to become champions. People that run basketballers, all those sport people, they want to make up their mind to become champion. They're ready to pay the price. So if you're not ready to pay the price of success, then you don't deserve success, because every success does not lower a standard for anyone. So you must rise to the level of success. What did I say? Success does not lower a standard for anyone. You must rise to the level of what? Success. Don't wish things are easy. Wish the life that you are better. Yes or yes? Okay, so I need you to write this one down. Okay, I said the only way to be accepted by God is to stop trying to do anything. The only way to be accepted by God is the only way to be accepted by God is to stop trying to do anything and stop trying to do with your energy and accept what God has done for you. What I'm trying to say is that most of us are trying to be very funny. God has blessed some things already. You are supposed to align yourself with what God has blessed already. But woman wants to create their own way and want God to bless him in his own way. But you know what about God? For God to say, I'm Alpha and Omega, that means that God is like this. That means Alpha and Omega must meet. But for Alpha and Omega means that they are not meeting. if this is Alpha and Omega, that means it's not going to work. Because he said at the beginning and the end. That if it's going to be a beginning and the end, it must be in the same. That means God will always bring you back to where he wants you to be. And what he wants you to be is that you shall go and dominate. And what again? Be fruitful. And do what again? Multiply. God never changes from day one. God, as God created man, he said he blessed them. And he said go and do what? Be fruitful. And do what again? Multiply. And do what again? Dominate. And do what again? And replenish the earth. So, and he says subdue. Tell us subdue. Every crippled thing. So that means you must be in charge and take place of your authorities, because only authority that can subdue. So what I'm going to come to something very interesting today. So you have to know that whatever you want to do, it's better to align. So align yourself with what God has already blessed. If you align yourself with what God already blessed, that means you're already blessed already. So you don't need to pray and fast for blessings to come. God, you're already blessed already. But you know what? Some people have what they call permissive will. They always want their own will, and they want to force God into their own will, and they struggle and struggle and struggle and struggle. So one of the things I told us that God wants us to do, God wants us to worship him as the only sovereign God, and to be a boss over our assignments and what? Skill. Be so skillful, be so excellent in what you do, that whatever men want in that particular field, they will come to you. Because there was a book we are reading right now in some of the mastermind group called The Richest Man in Babylon. You know, the guy was talking about Akkad. You know, Akkad, his friends were broke and poor, and they were now wondering how this guy that was their colleagues and they're growing up become suddenly rich and wealthy. So they then decided to go and meet Akkad to find out how he became rich and wealthy. You know, one of the things Akkad told them in the book was that he told them was that you know, that he became so skillful. There was a time in his field of practice that it was not that good. So he now decided to surrender everything to focus on himself and become so good in what he's doing that whenever he was the highest paid individual in his profession of carving, I think wood or something like that, coin or something, he used to carve. So what happened was that this wealthy man that needed this carving of this, is it coin or wood or something, so came to him. So he had to use a night and do that job, I think a night or 2 nights, to do that job for the man. So when the man came and he has done that thing excellently, now ask him, okay, now to the man that please teach me how to become wealthy. So that it was so good, they attracted attention of a wealthy man, and the wealthy man then decided to teach him how to be wealthy. You know, one thing that surprised me most was that anything the wealthy man asked him to do, because he did the first one and did wrongly and lost his money. So from that moment, anything the wealthy man asked him to do, he did the same thing. Before the end of the day, the wealthy man now carried him to be his colleague in his business, and even decided to partner with him because he was so good and he was so loyal and he was so hungry for success. He was teachable, he was coachable, and he was of course trainable. So that was why the wealthy man now partnered with him. Last time I told you, every mentor does not want to make you a slave. Every mentor wants to make you his colleague. Tell no colleague. Anything that wants to make you a slave is a slave master. And that's anything that is teaching you and his mentor you not to be like him or better than him is a slave master. So you don't need a slave master right now. You need to enjoy freedom. Tell no freedom. It's all in the kingdom there is freedom. Tell no freedom. So I would like us to take some notes today and before rise up. I said the only way to be accepted by God is to align yourself with what God has done, than trying to force God to approve your permissive will. You got yourself confused. The way to be accepted by God is to stop trying to do anything your own way. That is permissive will, and accept what God has done for you. That one, your life will be better and your life will be so easy. Okay, so what did God do? Because I'm going to look at the easy hard principle. He said God created us to create stuff. Write it down. God created us to create stuff. God created us to create things. God created us to create stuff. So from the beginning, what God wanted was a relationship. God wants a relationship with man. That's from the beginning. That's what he wants. So he created us to be like him so he can always fellowship with us. So that we can be a creative being so that he can rest. He gave us a brain to learn. I said, Jesus Christ never started a religion. Jesus Christ died on the cross to restore back that relationship with us and God. That's what Adam lost, so that we can create things like God. So that is what God created. I told us that the Garden of Eden was not beautiful because of God did it. It was beautiful because Adam was tendering the garden. He was taking care of the garden. So for you to actually become successful in life, you must actually be in charge of your assignment, your skills, and take care of it. That is the only way you can align yourself with what God has done. Stop. STUFF. Stops, right? Am I correct? God created us to create stuff. So the first thing God tell us was that to be creative. He told us to go and be fruitful. Turn off fruitful. I said a fruit has a seed in himself. It's a contained entity. So don't worry. I know that my class today is wonderful, but I'm going you will take some notes today. I said God made us to make stuff. Until I tap into that creativity that God has placed inside of me, I will not feel fulfilled. I think we can still take that down. until I tap into that creativity that God has placed inside of me, I will not feel fulfilled. So for you not to be fulfilled, you have to sit down. For you to be more unfulfilled, sit down to look at what you want to create, whether it's easy or it's hard. Be ready to pay the price to do that. Until I tap into the creativity that God has placed inside of me, I will not feel fulfilled. One of the days we were teaching too, we did something like this, and we said that all of us, for you to be fulfilled in life, you must actually create, and not create. You must actually connect, and not connect. And you must actually do what? Contribute. So you must create, you must contribute to feel fulfilled. So anything you want to create, don't worry about the price, whether it's hard or is what? Easy. Because some of us, when you want to do something great, you start to calculate and say, it's hard, though. Let me forget about it. You want to go out today and do some prospecting, you do some sales call, you say, it's hard, though. Because you are thinking that it's hard. You know what? You quit. And quitters never do what? Win. One of my friends said something, he said that quitting does not make the journey faster. Does it make the journey faster? No. It does make the journey faster. So whenever you make up your mind to create a team, build people, don't stop until you win. I think sometimes we said that okay, let's take some notes right now. Let's see what we can do. Okay. And some people are creative some people express their creativity. Some people express their creativity in music, films, carpentry, Some people express their creativity. Some people express their creativity in music, films, carpentry, tailoring. Nobody have it all. Full stop. Nobody have it all. Some people express their creativity in music, in films, in carpentry, in tailoring, and so on and so forth. In leadership, nobody has it all. We are all different, and that's why we need each other. We are all different. That's why we need each other. So whenever you want to create something, don't worry about whether the thing is hard or not. If a tailor look at the price is going to pay to become a tailor, sometimes they will quit. Some people even quit from tailoring. So some people express their creativity in music, in films, in carpentry, in tailoring. So you too must express your creativity of that word God has given to you. And once you want to express yourself, find a direction. And when you find a direction, don't stop until you achieve it, whether it's easy or is hard. Because some of us, when you want to do something great, you begin to look at the price to pay for it. You say, it's too hard, so I don't want to pay the price again, and you quit. And that makes you because you don't understand that everything that is hard at the front end is always easy at what? At the back end. So last time I was talking to her, I said that God created three things. Number one, He created the creation. So now creation. The creation is God created three things. God created the creation. God created the creation. The creation is the sun, the moon, the light, all those on water. And that's God created. Number two, God created the creatures. Say no creatures. The God in now spoke to them and said that let the earth bring forth its kind. And those ones bring the cat, the dog, the animals. That's what creation did. So they brought the fishes in the water. He said let the fish, water bring forth its kind in Genesis 2. And God created the creators. Say no creators. And that creators, what you see was man. Say no man. So God created us to create our image. He said, and God created us to become creators. So you want to have a relationship, man, to appreciate Him. Have relationship with God and create things like Him. So if you are not creating things, because one of the things why people don't create things is because when they want to create things, they look at the thing is very hard. I want to buy a car next year. I want to buy a car 3 months. So it's very hard. I must go do a lot of work. I must be disciplined. I must become a mastermind mentor to be able to teach and train and mentor people. I don't want to do that because they think it's hard, because they don't know that everything that is hard leads to easy, and easy leads to what? Hard. They will not look at, is it not better I go and get a job so that somebody will just be taking care of me? I don't have to worry about money at all. So at the end of the month, somebody will just pay me salary. Government will not pay me salary. And when after I retire, government will take care of me. And when I'm old and not. See, please, you have to start now to plan for your retirement. Save for your retirement. Put a structure. Do investment that will pay you money. Even when you are 50, 60, 70 years. Because some people might not be there to take care of you. You see how things are hard in this economy. Is that we are growing up, things were a little bit easy. But now it's becoming more harder by the day. So you don't even know what will happen to your children when in their own generation. One of your man tell me that if you always say, please change that dynamics. Do you know me that I know be get that generation almost? So you don't even know. So make a plan for yourself. Whether the plan you are making is going to be easy or hard. One of the days I told us that one of the biggest assets of a wealthy man is delayed gratification and what? Patience. Patience and delayed gratification is one of the assets of a wealthy man. But impatient and instant gratification is one of the liability of what? A poor man. So you have to do delayed gratification. Deny yourself some pleasure for some time. save the money and invest it so that money can pay you money. So when you start earning money when you are still alive and still working, I think even that book too we talk about the richest man in Babylon. The guy was talking about that you should keep investing, that you keep making money even when you have a lot of money already, so you can have more money. Because some of us, you want to create things like your creator, you look at the consequences or the requirement for it and you think that it's hard and you quit. So don't quit whenever you want to create things, because God created us to create stuff. As a creation and creatures cannot appreciate God. So God created for himself a man that has spirit, so you can relate to that man, so that man can create. So that will lead us to something very important today. So write this down. God created Adam, which is God-like creatures, which is God-like creator, God-like creator with flesh and blood. God created Adam, which is God-like creators with flesh and blood. So a man, he has God's spirit in him, and he also has flesh and blood. So that is what dogs don't have. That is what other animals. So God created Adam. God created creators, bracket Adam, which is God-like creator with flesh and blood. Full stop. Man is the only thing created by God to connect with God. Man is the only thing created by God to connect with God. So if you are not connecting with God, you might not be able to create the things you would like to create that will give you the satisfaction you want, that will make you fulfilled in your life. We are not God, we are not animals, but we are combined of both spiritual realm and the physical realm. Man is the only thing created by God to connect with God. We are not God, we are not animals, but we are a combination of both spiritual and physical realm. We are both 100% physical, and we have the Spirit of God living inside of us. So we have spirit, of course, supreme being living inside of us. So man is both spiritual, man functions both in spiritual realm and in physical realm. Our distinctive form that we have is spiritual being living in the physical form, body. Our distinctive form that man has is spiritual being living in the physical body. That is what distinct us from every other thing God created. That we have spiritual being living in the physical body. So when you know that spiritual being living inside of your physical body, and you stand up to create anything and you think that is hard, please don't ever consider yourself that I need to quit and look for easy life. No. Whatever you want to create, take action. Take action. Okay. I said we are distinctive form that have spiritual being living in the physical body. So this consciousness will want to make you take actions whenever you want to create things, and that will give you that fulfillment. You might not need to write this, but just say when God created creation and creatures, he was not fulfilled because he cannot connect with them. But God needed to create man so that he can connect with man. Fulfillment comes to those that create, connect, and contribute. Fulfillment comes to those that create, connect, and what? Contribute. Because what I'm saying is, God wants to go out to them and do some prospecting, and you need to look and say, oh, I'll enter the sun, the rain is falling, so I will not go there. So I want to call our team member and mentor them. He said, this woman now, we need to consider those, we need to take those inventory, and sometimes those inventory will begin to paralyze you and begin to make you feel like, I don't want to take the actions I want to take. So, and because people don't understand that everything that is hard always leads to the easy end. So anything you want to do, don't always consider the difficulty of it. I feel it's going to give you a favorable outcome. I feel that your expectation will give you a favorable outcome. Okay? So that is why, you see, I was talking about two ends of things. That for every up, there's what? A down. And there's one day I was just talking to us about, the Bible says that if you are a slave of righteousness, you'll be free from sin. If you are a slave of sin, you'll be what? I said, if you are a slave of righteousness, you'll be free from what? Sin. If you are a slave of sin, you'll be what? Bondage of what? No, let's come back again. You are confusing me. If you are a slave of righteousness, right? You'll be free from what? Sin. Okay? So if you are a slave of sin, yes. Slave of sin, you'll be free from righteousness. Slave of sin, that means you will not be free of what? Righteousness. That means you'll not be able to live a righteous life. So whoever you yield yourself to be slave to matters a lot. And freedom comes from being a slave to something. All of us are slave to something. You might be slave to going to church, slave to watching movie, slave to being on social media, slave to your gadget, slave to gossiping, slave to backbiting, slave to hatred. But understand that if you are slave to anything that is not righteous, you are slave to anything that is not righteous, that is sinful. If you are slave to anything that is not righteous, you'll be committing sin. Am I right? I'm confusing what? Slave to righteous will lead us to what? Free from sin. Yes. So I'm correct, right? Yes. Slave of sin will make you not to be what? Righteous. Not just righteous. Oh my God. You are free. I'm correct, right? I know the first one is correct. Yes. If the first one is correct, right? So you're going to enslave your members to righteousness so that it will lead to the right path to achieve that your goal and your dream. Whether it is hard, because you know that everything that is hard always leads to what? Easy end. I don't know why I'm finding it difficult to explain this, my easy hard principles. But you guys are understanding it right anyway. Yes or yes? Yes. So because sometimes why I'm saying these things, because most of us want to take the action. I remember somebody sitting down and count the cost of becoming successful. They say, no, that I don't want to wake up in the morning. I cannot come to millionaire school. It's hard. I cannot learn every day. I cannot be reading books. So you begin to count the price to pay to become successful. So after counting the price, he quits. He said, I don't want to be. Let me go and find a job. Because he doesn't know that anything that is hard always leads to what? An easy end. Okay, let me put it the way I put on my phone. I said, freedom can only exist in the boundaries. No boundaries, no freedom. Freedom can only exist in the boundaries. I think I'm going to be fine. I put some scripture there. Romans 6, 15 to 23. I think we should read it. So that will help me explain this thing I'm talking about. Okay, read that. I said, freedom can only exist inside boundaries. Freedom can only exist inside boundaries. So I'm going to explain all this easy to hard end. So you see that it's anything that is hard always to, I said, easy to easy end. Freedom only exists, can only exist inside boundary. Freedom can only exist inside boundary. Okay. Romans 6, 15 to 23. I said, no boundaries, no freedom. Yes, I've gotten what I wanted. No boundaries, no freedom. Perfect. Look at how I put it. Then we're going to round up to this class. I've gotten it right now. I say no boundaries equals no freedom. So you don't put boundaries on yourself to achieve the dreams, whether it's hard or not, you don't have freedom. And I put it here, boundaries leads to freedom. Boundaries leads to freedom. Boundaries lead to freedom. So you're going to bound yourself to something. And I put a slave to sin. Yes, I've seen it. Slave to sin equals freedom. No freedom to righteousness. Perfect. No freedom to righteousness. No freedom to righteousness. Once you're a slave to sin, no freedom to righteousness. So I said 16, 15 to 23. Okay, I'm going back. I said, not slave to sin leads to freedom to righteousness. Not slave to sin. Not slave to sin leads to freedom to righteousness. Freedom to righteousness. So you are not slave to sin leads to freedom to righteousness. I put it, slave to God leads to freedom from sin. Slave to God leads to freedom from sin. I'm going to come back again. I say no freedom, no boundaries, no freedom. Boundaries, freedom. Slave to sin, no freedom to righteousness. Not slave to sin, freedom to righteousness. And I put a slave to God. Slave to God leads to freedom from sin. Yes. Slave to God leads to freedom from sin. So when you understand this, you know that people you don't deny yourself from pleasure. So you're not going to be free at the end of the day. I said, not slave to God, no freedom from sin. Not slave to God. Not slave to God leads to no freedom from sin. No freedom from sin. So that's it. That's it right. No boundaries, no freedom. Boundaries leads to freedom. Slave to sin, no slave to righteousness. Not slave to sin, freedom to righteousness. Slave to God, freedom from sin. Not slave to God, no freedom from sin. Perfect. Read that place for us.
Romans chapter
6.
16.
Let's start from 16.
16.
Okay.
Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourselves servants to obey, the servant ye are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness. But God required that ye were the servants of sin.
Servants of sin.
But ye are today from the form of doctrine which was delivered. Being then made free from sin,
Okay?
you become a servant of righteousness.
Calm down. You want to make yourself free from sin, you must become a servant to what? Righteousness. Okay.
I speak after the manner of men,
Okay.
because of the infirmity of the flesh.
Okay.
As ye have yielded your members servants to uncleanness and to iniquity,
Okay.
unto iniquity.
Okay, unto iniquity.
Even so now yield your member servants to righteousness unto holiness.
Okay, continue.
For when ye be in the servant of sin, ye were free from righteousness. What fruit had ye then in those
Don't worry,
things?
they'll read at home. They'll be three. So if you save your members to serve God, you'll be free from sin. So by the time you want, it's not just about, it's the same thing, like black and right, opposite and ups and down, in and out, white and black, hot and cold. So whenever you want to do anything that will lead you to an expected end, something you want to create, and the thing is hard, better pay the price so that you know you have an easy life. Because everything that is hard leads to easy. Anything that is easy leads to what? Hard. Okay? And once you put restrictions, let me see something. What's the time now? 6 minutes. Okay. Now, let me show about boundaries. If you put boundary like this, everything that is boundary is boundary. That means anything you are free here now, right? Yes or yes? You are only not free outside the boundary. You put a boundary over your house, put a fence. You are free inside the house. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So why we put boundaries? Why we put boundaries so that we can have freedom? We put boundaries so that we can have what? Freedom inside. So without boundaries, there is no freedom. Imagine living in a house without a fence. Imagine living in a house without a door. So you put all those things so that you can be free inside the house. So imagine that your neighbor is your neighbor, fine. That's why it's called neighbor. Tell your neighbor. But imagine your neighbor is supposed to come in through the door. Imagine one morning you wake up, your neighbor is in your kitchen. Stupid food to eat. He has passed the boundary now. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So that your neighbor is not more free because he has found a boundary. So what I'm trying to say is this: whenever you make up your mind to create things like your maker, to connect and contribute, why you think it's hard or easy? You really need to pay the price because so that everything that is hard leads to what? Easy. Things that is easy leads to what? Hard. So because all of us, when time you look at the price to pay, the temporary, one of my mentors call it a reward. Because temporary loss of what? Low self-esteem. But you are wondering that, oh, my neighbor will tell me, oh, you are not doing network marketing. Oh, you are talking to people. They are saying, they're not worried about what people will say about the business you do that is giving you money, giving it to them. People's opinion don't pay your bills. So because you now worry about what your pastor will say, what my neighbor will say, that you are doing network marketing, yeah, the people think that, they don't even know that network marketing is not about selling products. You know the people that says the business of the 21st century. That network marketing is not about product. It's not about hawking products. It's not about making money. It's about personal development. To grow yourself, to manage yourself, the way you dress, the way you talk, how to face your fears. So people have these fears, they make up in their mind, oh, I don't want people to laugh at me, so because of that I want to hide myself. I don't want to invite what people think about me. Because I think that what people think about you, you don't go and make your call, you don't go and send a text. It's better people that don't appreciate you, and people that don't appreciate you, you don't even need them in your life. People that cannot accept you the way you are, you don't need them. So please, not because you want to achieve a goal and a dream, and you're worried about what people say, and you quit on it because you think that it's hard. Please, anything that is hard always leads to something that is easy. You know, all this one that are suffering ourselves like this, growing ourselves every day. People think that it's hard. Some people will tell you, oh, I cannot wake up in the night, I like my morning sleep. I cannot come and learn. And so I complain, I need money. But they don't want to do things that is hard for them. Now they're doing things that is, their life will become hard at the end of the day. So let's try to round up to this class. Let me give you 1 or 2 things to take. And I don't know where I'm going. I'm not even gotten to where I want to go to, but it's fine. We have a lot of notes here, we have a lot of notes here to take, but it's fine. Let me see what I can do. We have a lot of notes here too. And a lot of notes here too. So, but let me look for where I got some math for us. So, okay. Let me look for somewhere math for us. Okay. Okay, write this one down. I said freedom can only exist inside boundaries, right? Yes. I said without boundaries, we have chaos, crimes, disasters. Without boundary, there will be chaos, crime, disasters. Without boundary. You know, even the road you are driving, they put this white line in between the road. So you know this one is for the left, this one is for the right. I said without boundaries, we have chaos, crimes, disasters, etc. Without boundaries. I said restriction give direction. Rules demands on you. Restrictions gives you direction. Rules and demands on you. So once you like the road we normally drive, there's always a line that shows this one is left, this one is right. And everybody will know. That's why you have boundaries. So, and these are the things that will help us to live the life we want to live. Okay? Okay, we can leave stop there because the notes plenty. But you know, I was really struggling to finish off the notes there. But it's fine. Let's just stop this for today. I said restrictions gives you direction, command, rules, and demand on you. Restrictions gives you direction, rules, restriction, command, rules, command, and demand on you. That's what restriction does. That's what boundaries does. So all these things will make you understand that when you understand that anything that is hard for you, like the road that we normally drive now, like a single line, they normally put like this red and yellow lines. You know those red lines now? And the white lines on the middle of the quota. You know right lines. That's because they put restriction. You know that this one is going left, this one is going right. So that's the only way that we can have direction, we can have focus, we can be free on our lane. You cannot be free on someone else, you have accidents now. Yes or yes?
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say, because sometimes, because you want to be free, and you just want to do everything that you want to do, I want to force God to do that. No. Look for what God has done, and for you, and follow it, so that it is hard on you. You know, I remember when we were growing up, my father used to tell us, and my mother used to lie to us and tell me that, and then you touch any girl now, she'll be pregnant. So because of that, I carry one mental crap on my head. And I thought any girl now she'll be pregnant. She lied to me. But it wasn't true. So that thing made me, if I'm writing in the classroom and a lady collected my diary, I will not collect it back, so I will not have to touch it. So that made me stay from first state to final year without not having a girlfriend. Let us imagine that. Let us imagine that. You know, and this I carried this lie on my head for a very long time. That no matter what somebody is telling to me, and then that there was no so much information like today, there was no lot of internet, you can go and browse. Even my friends are telling me something good. I say, you're lying to my mother told me this. No, I like to myself about it. So all those things, but actually it's good because I have freedom right now, right? You know one thing that marriage will make you free, no? Marriage will make you holy. That's what I talk about today. Marriage will make you holy, right? Marriage will make you holy, not freedom. Because you have to freedom already today if you want. So you have to restrict yourself to give yourself to that right, so you can have a good life tomorrow, right? So that's not let us stop for today here because I don't want to do it again. So you learn something to the Galatians as well. You learn something to the Galatians. Okay, I would like to take your contribution today. You learn something to the Galatians because thank you.
From what we have learned, we have seen 3 parts in human beings.
Okay.
The spirit man, the physical man. The psychological man is not really being touched.
Okay.
That's where the problem of man being lies.
Okay.
Because spiritual treatment and the physical cannot cure
Yes.
the problem of psychology.
Yes, it cannot be us. That's why we're doing all this training to put your mind in the way it's supposed to function. Good morning.
And this popular saying that there is no food for the lazy man.
Yeah.
So if you want to do business, I want the business to be easy. And you are not ready to do it.
Yeah.
You have to start it in a hard way.
Yeah.
You have to be so difficult that you want to beat. So you don't want people on the easy at the end. So you have to put a boundary to yourself that I have